good morning. Today, we are going to learn about conditional formatting. So, let me introduce you to the concept of conditional formatting first. Conditional formatting allows automatic formatting to cells when their value matches any specific criteria. It helps to spot trends quickly, identify outliers, or highlight critical values. One thing that I want to repeat on this slide is that conditional formatting formats the cell bases their values on a specific criteria. We'll understand about this more when we look at the demonstration. What are the benefits of conditional formatting? Conditional formatting quickly identifies trends, patterns, and outliers. It makes data easier to read and understand. It automatically updates formatting as data changes, and it makes data presentation more visually appealing and easy to understand. Let's check how it works in Excel. I am in my Excel right now, and the data that you see here is the same as we used in the video of filter. There are columns for date, state, region, product category, brand name, sales quantity, and sales revenue. To cover some specific exercises related to conditional formatting, I have created some more data related to comparison of sales between 2025 and 2024 and identified their differences. We'll apply conditional formatting on these examples and see how it works. As I do in every video, I have created some set of objectives which will help us go through the demonstration easily. The first objective is to highlight cells containing Samsung. As you see that the data contains brand names in column E, what I can simply do is I can select this column, and to find conditional formatting, you will have to go under Home tab. In the Styles section, click on Conditional Formatting. There are many options. Here we need to select all the cells which are mentioned as Samsung. You can click on equal to. Here you can type Samsung. And select the color green. Okay. And by this you see that everywhere where Samsung is mentioned, it has got highlighted in green. The next objective is to highlight top 10 revenue values. For this, we'll select the column of revenue and again go to conditional formatting. I can select top or bottom rules and I can click here top 10 items and I'll color it in green, and here it shows top 10 revenues which are there in this table. Now one thing that I want to highlight here is that you could also change the condition of top 10 to top 5 or top 20 or even bottom. So let me show you how to do that. You click on this column, go to conditional formatting and go to manage rules. When you go to manage rules, the window will open to show that which conditional formatting is applied on this particular cell. You can simply click on this rule and go to edit rules, and from here you can select from top to bottom, and we can keep the 10 as is, but we can change the formula to mark the color in red and also the fill in pink. As soon as I click OK and apply, you would see that instead of top 10, the bottom 10 have got highlighted in red. So this way, I showed you how to change the rules, but this was only in brief. I will show this to you more in details. What you would notice is that in the columns where the conditional formatting is already applied, the rule would appear. Now to keep the conditional formatting clean, I'll just select all and go to conditional formatting and clear rules from entire sheet, so that once I apply conditional formatting on the other cells, it will not make the formatting complicated for us to understand. The objective 3 says that using formula we need to highlight rows where sales is greater than 2 lakh INR. So I'll just mention the criteria here, 2 lakh. And now I'll select the first cell in the table, and by pressing Ctrl Shift right arrow and Ctrl Shift down arrow, I'll select the whole data. Then I'll go to conditional formatting and click on new rule. Now since we are going to use a formula for this one, I'll click on use a formula to determine which cells to format. Here I can simply type to compare the sales revenue with the 2 lakh amount which I have mentioned in I2. So I'll click on G2 is greater than or equal to I2. What you would notice is that Excel has automatically applied $sign here. Now since I don't want to apply only in one cell or only in one row, hence I would remove the dollar in front of 2 here, so that the formula for this formatting would get applied on all the rows. And then I'll go to format and highlight the cells in yellow. Once I click OK, you would notice that anywhere where the amount was more than 2 lakh rupees, it has got highlighted. Now the beauty of this is that this is a formula which would change basis the numbers. So for example, if I instead of 2 lakh, if I did 2 lakh 50,000, any amount which was less than 2 lakh 50,000 has got de-highlighted, and only the amount which is greater than 2 lakh 50,000 has got highlighted. Similarly, I could do 1 lakh, and you would notice that more cells have got highlighted. Similarly, if I change any value in this particular cell to make it less than the criteria, you would notice that that particular row has got de-highlighted. Now just to show you the formula once again, that how it appears, I would go to conditional formatting and go to manage rules. And you would notice that here it says that the formula is that it is comparing the value of column G, and because $sign is not there before 2, which means that each row is individually getting compared with $I$2. So this $I$2 cell is frozen. The format that I had selected was yellow, and it is applying to the whole data which I had selected. Now instead of yellow, I could also do another formatting. For example, I could choose border, or in the font I could come and make this cells bold. So once I click OK and apply, you would notice that these formats have got bold. I'll bring it back to 2 lakh rupees now. The next objective is to add icons from percentage change from last year. The same number should be considered as yellow, and more than 0 should be considered as green, and less than 0 should be considered as red. Here I have compiled the data for comparing the sales from previous year. To apply the conditional formatting, I'll go to Home, and in the list of highlight cell rules, top and bottom rules, data bars, color scale, I see icon sets. I'll choose this icon set. The icon set has got applied, although this is not the same as what I wanted. I wanted 0 to appear as yellow, anything greater than 0 should be green, and less than 0 should be red. So to change this, I'll click on conditional formatting and manage rules. Here you would see that the rule has got applied. I'll select this rule and click on edit rule. From here I can modify this criteria. What I need to do is that instead of percent as type, I need to choose number on both the sides. And you will observe that now what it is defining is that it is green when value is greater than or equal to 0. I'll change it to greater than 0 only. and the yellow is when less than equal to 0 and greater than or equal to 0, then the number would be yellow, and when the number is less than 0, then it would be red. Once I click OK and I apply, and now you would notice that the correct format has got applied. Just to check if it is working correctly or not, I'll randomly change value of any one cell to 0 to see how it's changing. Yes, so once I changed it to 0, it has changed from yellow. I'll do a Control Z to make the formatting correct. I also wanted to show you there is one more option in this edit rule only to show icon only. When I click here, what will happen is that this option will hide the values in the cells, but it will show icon only. So I have checked this and I click OK and apply. What you would notice is that the numbers have got hidden from these cells, but only icons are showing. And I can also center align these. Now again I'll test if it is working fine or not. I'll change any number randomly. So if I change to 61, uh, you see that this has got changed from red arrow downwards to green arrow upwards, which means that my conditional formatting is working correctly. So this was a quick demo of conditional formatting. I hope you understood the concept now. Feel free to rewind to check if any of the section was not clear to you. Thank you for watching.